Hey, welcome tonight. Welcome to All Things Business. Al Thomas here. I'm so glad you're joining us tonight. We got a good one for you tonight. I got a real good one. Tonight's topic is recipe for success. That's right, recipe for success. Write that down. Recipe for success. I'm really excited that you guys join me. Hey, when you cook up a successful meal, it's the same thing as building a successful team. That's right. Team, TEAM, stands for Together Eat to Achieve More. Now, what do you need for a successful recipe? You know, everything starts with a recipe. First, you have to put a dash of belief. Write that down. A what dash? A dash of believing that you can. Believing. Now, believing is so important. Here again, believing. Can you see that word believing? You have to believe first. Sometimes people they don't believe because they've been lied to, so they be what I call be lying to themselves. Get it? Be lying. Take the V out and you got be lying. But tonight, if you start believing, the next is you'll start be living. Get it? Be living. Take the E out, be living. Got it? But it all starts with you believing. Okay. That's the first ingredients in success of making a successful meal. And there's about how many steps I got? I got about 8 steps to go through tonight. So after you get the dash of believing that you can do it, a lot of times we're in our life, we're talking about what you can't have, what you can't become, what you can't be, you like, whatever. But don't buy into that. Don't buy into what other people put on top of your head because they can't see themselves doing more. Okay. So remember, you got to start believing in who? Yourself. All along the way in my life, I've always had to believe on me. I can't count on anybody else, but I can count on me. The second key is a pinch of faith. 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 What is faith, Al Thomas? Something you can't see, you can't touch, you can't feel. You have to faith. You have to believe. Now I'm gonna give you the Webster's definition of faith. Webster says this about faith. Faith is evidence or trust. I'm sorry. Faith is confidence or trust in a person, thing, or concept. So, how many people believe in you? If you're going to build a big organization, no matter what business you're in, real estate, network market, or traditional business, you're going to have people have believe in you and trust you, and you have to be a person with confidence. Very important. So, faith is you got to have faith. Number three, a cup, just a cup of burning desire. A cup of it, yeah, just a cup of burning desire. How bad do you want it? I mean, how bad do you want it? Let's go back. 1996. I'm going to go back a little bit. I wanted to be so successful that I want to be on stage at my first network marketing company, and I went to work to make it real. Matter of fact, here I'm here on stage in 1996 at our convention. At our convention, I know we got the in 1996 at our convention, and there I'm on stage in front of 300 people. Now hold that thought. That was just 300 people. 1996. Guys, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Okay. I'm going to come back to it a little bit later. So I remember that I had a burning desire to be successful. I didn't care as long as it was legal above board and I wanted to get the best that I could. I sought out all the leaders and I remember I wanted it bad enough. When I got started, I took a road trip down to the Bay Area to see this one gentleman talk. And I took two carloads of people with me because I wanted to know and I wanted to take my group with me to learn from the best of the best. And when I got down there, I saw why he was so good. And I said, aha, he had a burning desire to deliver such a sequential message that people were signing up. And I said, I gotta learn that. I gotta learn that. So do you have a desire? How burning is it? How bad do you want it? So important to have that burning desire. Now, so we got number one, we got what? Believing. Number two, we have a pinch of faith. And number three, we have a burning desire. What? A cup of burning desire. So important. Number four, a measuring spoon of commitment. How committed are you to see the job through? Or you just kind of halfway in, like the hokey pokey, and you take your foot out, and then no, you got to be 100% committed. Matter of fact, I used to teach people write down 21 things you're committed to that money could not buy. Think about it: family, faith, children, church. I mean, think about it. Most people can't get past 10 and 12 of them. What are you committed to that money can't buy? I know when I got involved in network marketing after I got out of real estate, I was so committed. I wanted to be the best that I could be. And then I said, you know what? I want to make so much money that I want to buy a mansion one day. And it's a funny thing. I was out looking at houses in Sacramento and I told the agent what I wanted, and we pulled up to this house. Where I walked in it. It had three pyramids, one in the circle driveway. Matter of fact, I got a picture of it around here. Here we are. I'm going to show you my house I bought. Now, this is the house I bought. As you can see, there's three of my Mercedes in the driveway. There's three of my Mercedes in the driveway. It was 8,000 square foot mansion, four-car garage. And when I pulled up, you can't see it, but there is a pyramid here on the driveway and one here, and there's one on top of the house you can barely see. And I said, before I even got out of the car, this is my house. And Leigh said, you haven't seen it. I go, I know, it's mine. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Anyway, and those three of my Mercedes there. I wanted it that bad. That's how well I did. Matter of fact, here's another picture of me standing in front of it. Look at that. And here's a guy who barely got out of high school, went to college a couple years, and left before look here. So I'm trying to show you how commitment can pay off in a big way for you, but you got to be committed. You got to be committed. Like a horse in a race with blinders on. You got to don't look left, don't look right, look straight ahead. Be committed to see the job through and never, what Churchill said, and I quote, never, never, never give up. One of my favorite quotes by Winston Churchill. Some people, it's like the beginning of a college quarter, semester. You go in, there's 1,000 kids at college. Halfway through, there's only 500 left. Then at the end of the school year, there's only, 200 left? Because they weren't committed. They weren't committed. Let any excuse waver them from lasting in there and getting what they need done. So, number 4 is commitment. How committed are you to the task at hand? Number 5, you need a tablespoon of determination. Write that down. A tablespoon, Mr. Thomas? Yes, right, a tablespoon of determination. You got to be determined to see it through. I wanted to work so hard. Listen here. I wanted to work so hard that the company would recognize me, people would recognize me for my accomplishment. I've never seen a book on the bookstore yet written about a loser, for a loser, by a loser. I wanted to be known in this industry. I wanted to be one of the best I could possibly be. And by being determined, I said, I want to work so hard that my signature becomes an autograph. Well, guess what happened? My company, Excel Communication, my first network marketing company, there was a book came out called the Excel Phenomena. We grew faster than Microsoft. Now, this book is one of my cherished books because it was signed by Kenny Trout, my billionaire mentor, and Steve Smith, who was the second person in charge there at the company. But more important than that, this book is something that I want to share with you. If you really get committed, a tablespoon. What about a teaspoon? Whatever, but get committed. I want to show you a picture in the book here of me and the owner, Kenny Trout, and myself, the billionaire mentor. And I wanted to work so hard that I was noticed. What about you? Here I am there in the book. There we are right there together in the book. Now, I want to read something to you. I've written through the book here. It says, Presidential Director Al Thomas is a favorite, I'm on page 111, on the Excel speaking circuit and does not take long to understand why he's mixed with humor and a sense of humor and often is at his own expense to raise people's comfort level with the business because I have to help people understand this is a business. With his humor, he helps people get ease. And I have to ease people because we come in there with intentions of thinking, okay, what's the catch? Is there got to be a scheme, scam, or, what's the catch? There's no catch. The catch is we're here to educate you. I'm going to read something else real quickly here down here on page 112. Al joined Excel more than 6 years ago, and for the last 4 years, he has devoted himself full time to the business. So 6 years and four times by fourth year, I was full time. It only took 2 years to go full time, folks, because that took commitment. That's what I'm saying. Number 4 is commitment. I'll finish reading this. Al, this is not a get rich quick scheme. It takes hard work, okay, determination, that's right, persistence, and a burning desire. Wow. What was number 3? A burning desire. And number four, we're talking about a tablespoon of commitment, spoon of commitment. This is what it takes, ladies and gentlemen, to be successful. And I wanted to work that much. I wanted to work so bad that my signature became an autograph. Here I'm outside my limousine at the convention for 3 hours signing autographs. And there's my driver, Rick, who also doubled up as the bodyguard as with me the whole weekend because I did some things that most people would never do. Most people getting something, they waver or they make excuses why they can't be 100% in or 100% committed. So you got to be committed. So a tablespoon of commitment. Now, so we got that. Number five, you need a I'm sorry. Number five, a tablespoon of determination. That's right. I'm talking about number five, tablespoon of determination. I'm sorry, I got mixed up here. So you got to be determined to see the job through. Number six, you got to be persistent. You got to be persistent. So you got to be persistent. You got to be persistent. What am I talking about? Because I kept going and kept staying focused and kept being persistent and kept building and kept throwing through numbers of people. Some stayed with me, some quit, some whatever. But I was looking for a handful. Kenny Trout once told me, the billionaire mentor says, Al Thomas, I'm going to share with you. He said, you only need one person and six different legs to make a fortune. One, not all, just one person and six different legs to make a fortune. And I kept him in that word of that, and that's what happened. And because I was so focused that later on, here I am. Remember I said earlier, let's look at that picture earlier. The picture earlier in 1996, I'm in front of 300 people. There we are. There, remember that picture? I said, hold that thought. Now I'll go from 300 people because I was so persistent to years later to being on stage in front of 25, 30,000 people. There I'm there. Wow, at the stage. And there is the backdrop. Wow. What did I contribute that to? I contributed that to determination, and being very persistent year after year. Year one, year two, three, year four, year five. You saw what happened in year six, year seven, year eight, year nine, year 10, because I stayed the course, folks. I didn't deviate. So that's what's important. You don't want to deviate. You got to stay the course. So because of that, everything else, next, number seven, you need a scoop of coachability. A scoop? Yeah, just like ice cream, a scoop of coachability. Michael Jordan, as great as he was, he had a coach. Tiger Woods, one of the greatest, he had a coach. Michael Jackson with the moonwalk, he had coaches to show him how to do that. You know, Beyonce, singer, she had singing coaches. Sylvester Stallone had acting coaches because they didn't want him to act. He had to go several places to sell the movie Rocky. Because why? They thought he was terrible at it and they didn't want him to play the part. But now look at him today. So you got to stay with coaches. Let me tell you what happens when you stay with coaches. Here's a book. I'm gonna go to a couple of books. Not only was I in the Excel Phenomena book, but also a book called Beach Money by one of my gentlemen who I helped become a millionaire, who I coached. And he came out with his own book called Beach Money, Jordan Allen. Now, inside the book, I want to read something to you that's inside the book. Matter of fact, most all my books are autographed. There we go, by him. And in the book, he wants to thank number one, his mother, number two, his father. And guess who's number three he's thanked in the book? Yeah, that says something. And I want to read something in the book that might bless you. It says this: to Al Thomas for being one of the most influential figures in my life and for teaching me the ropes about business over an occasional cigar because I enjoy this piece of cigar. It hits, wink, wink. So this book, I was because I got to be so focused that they'll come out and they'll seek you because you've got the knowledge to help people become successful. Here's another book, Wave Three, A Way of Building Your Downline by Richard Poe. Now, this book came out, and I was spoken in this book as well. I'm on page 143. It says the burning. Wait, it talks about me about. Anyway, I'll just paraphrase that when I start talking, people's ears perked up and the people paid attention because they never heard the way I explained business to them. So here again, that's another book. And one of my other billionaire mentors out of Australia, Peter Daniels, The Awesome Power of Public Speaking. I'm in this one. And matter of fact, I actually endorsed the back of the book right here. That's me when I had hair. So here again, because I was coachable, I was coachable. Are you coachable? These, I'm just trying to show you. I'm not trying. I'm trying to show you some of the accolades that I have because I did all these things, and it was a recipe for success, and I stuck with it. And this is what's very important. Number 10, excuse me, number 8 is you got to follow the instructions 100% of the time. Instruction is a system, and system stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. Why? Because it works. Can you imagine making a cake and you're leaving a couple of ingredients out? What kind of cake would that be? Some of us have relatives that do great at certain things that they make or bake or cook, but they know if some of the elements of the ingredients are left out, it's not going to work, folks. So, what kind of meal do you want? What kind of ingredients are you putting into what you're putting together? Are you coachable? So, let's go back and recap. Number one, do you number number one? You have to believe. 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 Number one, believing. Number one is believing. Number two, what was number two? Does anybody remember number two? Number two was faith. Number two was faith. Do you have the faith? Number two was faith. What was number three? Number three was a burning desire to see the job through. Number four was what? Commitment. How committed are you? How committed? Will you be here a year from today? 2 years from today? What about 5 years from today? What about 10 years from today? Unless the good Lord calls you home. Hmm. Number five was determination. How determined are you to get to where you want to go and not stop and stay focused? And number six was persistent. You got to be persistent. A drop of rain, get a little concrete payment. You go back a week later, there's a little groove. You go back a month later, there's a hole. You go back 6 months later, there's a big hole because it was persistent. Next, number seven, you needed what? A scoop of what? Coachability. How coachable are you? Well, I'm gonna do it my way. Well, Frank Sinatra is the only one I know that made $1 million off that song, My Way. Guys, check your ego, check your pride. EGO stands for edging God out. Be submissive to learn what you don't know. Don't go in there with arrogance. Be submissive. Man, I was so humble. I would have known. Remember, I drove 2.5 hours, an hour and a half down from Sacramento to the Oakland Bay Area, out to the airport, 19 to learn from one of the best in the business. Wow. And I soaked all that information in. That's right. And number eight, 100%, 100% following the directions. You got to follow directions. There's no shortcut. And this is how you put it all together, the ingredients of becoming successful and the recipe for success. Ladies and gentlemen, you take out any one of these, it's not going to be what you want it to be. Sure, you might get far, you might get good, but you won't get all the way to the top. These are the things that I found in 35 years that 100% absolutely work, hands down. Otherwise, I would not have 21 other people I've coached that are millionaires. The proof is in the pudding. I've showed you documentation, documentation, more documentation. I mean, I documented this through the years. I'm telling you, it still works today. And I'm going to tell you something else. It's easier today than back those days. Easier today. And let me tell you why. Because now we have Zoom. Gosh, it's amazing to me. You could be all over the world in just a click of a. I mean, come on. Before in the old days, you had to get in the airplane, go there, get a hotel room, overnight accommodations, go out with your organization afterwards and talk to people, shake hands and politic a little bit, show people that you're a real person. They get to check you out, right? Suit and tie clothes and cleaning and all that stuff. Today, you can get on a Zoom call like tonight to get educated, build a business globally in a matter of seconds, minutes. Powerful tool. And as the world changed, you have to change with it. I'm talking about the good old days. No, that wasn't the good old days. These are the better days. Simpler, faster, and quicker today than ever before. And if you're not taking advantage of it, you're going to get left behind. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you tonight for taking time out of your schedule because it costs you your time. And I don't take that lightly. But if you invest time in this call and watch other things on this channel, it's going to really bless your business. It's going to bless your income. It's going to bless even your social life. It's going to bless your home life. It's going to bless you all the way around the board. But you got to implement these things and watch this over and over again. Leave a comment below. Hit the subscribe button. And folks, we'll see you soon. Take care. God bless. I hope this bless you tonight. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good one. God bless. Al Thomas over now.